Hello, hello.
And welcome to another episode with George.
Yeah, the Lume plotters with George. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Happy to be here again.
So today
Happy
we
to have you. It's been a while since your last Cartier. I think we did 2 Cartier episodes, didn't we?
We did an expanded one, right? We did the Cartier and then we did an expanded one. So
yeah,
good to be
all
back.
of your rabbit holes.
Yeah, there
so
you
now, effectively, George has reached out and said he has another rabbit hole that he wants to discuss. And we'd never discussed this in detail. So the idea was digital quartz watches, your typical F91Ws. I think you were talking about Ironman, Timex Ironman. So that's the topic for today. But before we get into this, I think we should talk about some housekeeping. First and foremost, my Zenith went away. It went to Dubai, the MOE boutique, who sent it to the Dubai service center, who then said they cannot fix it.
What?
And so it has to go to Switzerland. And I was told, well, Switzerland's technically on vacation till August 15th. So it's going to sit in Dubai, the Dubai service center for a month. And then after a month, they will ship it. And then the lead time is 4 months. And then a month to get it back. So it's going to be gone for 6 months. And I said, so what's wrong with it? And like, they don't know. So zero transparency, zero knowledge. Nothing was told to me. And they said they will diagnose it once it reaches Switzerland. So that's the first kind of bummer of it all. And then, of course, the wife is pissed because you spent all this money on a watch that you don't even have for 6 months now. And I told her, it's fine because I'm going to have it back and then it'll feel like a brand new watch. But yeah, of course I'm bummed because it was my favorite watch, I think, by far. So that's number one. Number two, I just came back from vacation. I went to Romania and Hungary again. I took one watch. No, technically I took 3 watches, but I only wore one. The FXD. And I wore the FXD for 14, 15 days straight in the wilderness. We were in Transylvania in the forest, hiking, setting fires, cooking outside, all the good stuff, not forest fires. We didn't set any forest fires. It was like 6 degrees. We're freezing absolutely frozen to death. But it was the perfect watch for it. It did everything I asked of it, timing, cooking things and stuff like that. We saw a bear, which is apparently, it's not rare, but you don't often see it. So they're there in vast numbers, but they're always kind of hidden. So we did see a baby bear, which meant mama bear was somewhere in the vicinity as well.
You have to be very careful every time you see offspring.
So, but we had a blast. We went off-roading, mudding up a mountain. So, just getting covered in mud with our, the Pelagos did great. So, in the hot tub, outside the hot tub, temperature fluctuations, everything.
And then you wanted to know what date it was, and bam.
But I did not know what date it was the entire time. I was there.
Because he doesn't have one.
But as a backup, I did take the Hamilton khaki and I did take my trusty G-Shock, which I'm wearing right now, the rubber one. The GW5000U, I think it's called. This is the one with it's rubber, but it has, unlike Ralph's, which he'll show you in a moment, mine has the screw down case back or screw in case back. Which one is this? Screw in or screw down?
Screw in.
Screw in case back, and Ralph's has the screw down case back. So,
it has the screws. It's not screwed itself. It has I can show
the twisty.
Yeah, I want
to
show you yours
in multiple.
So that's the difference there.
That is not the one, but it's like this one. Wait.
Does yours look like mine? So it's more like
this is yours.
Yeah.
This is the one that George is holding up.
The raisin.
Correct. Version. So for the listeners, we have this one with a black. I think it's a DLC coated metal or something.
Mine has a A little bit of glare, but
this one is also here just a normal one with a just stamped steel back that is held in place by 4 screws that are just screwed in. While what Martin has there is the one that is in the metal G-Shocks usually.
Technically, this is a metal G-Shock, just with a resin surround, right? So the inner core of the one you're showing before is a carbon core, they call it, which is essentially plastic. It's, how Swatch loves to say, what is it? Bioceramic. G-Shock likes to say carbon core, but it's just plastic. They're all plastic. But this one has the full stainless steel inside, and then they just put the rubber around it, as opposed to the metal, which is in the all-metal G-Shocks.
So I'm going to give you a slight variation, just so that kind of get into the topic as well.
Yeah, so we went from housekeeping into...
There you go.
Oh, yeah. So you can see it on better. So this is the same exact watch as mine. So however, this is the anniversary edition.
Yeah.
35th anniversary. So they made also the buckle and the dial, or whatever you want to call it. The screen is gold. And if my memory serves, if you turn on the backlight, it glows, and it says something on the backlight on yours.
No,
it does.
No,
it's,
it does not. I thought it says 35th anniversary.
Yeah, it does say something for sure. I mean, you just can't see it very well. Yeah, it says something there, I think. If the light was a little bit dimmer, I think you could see it. I thought this was said 35 or something in the back. But the dial itself, it's weird because it's a gold overlay over the dial. So it's
highly reflective from that perspective. You cannot see it actually on the camera, but when you look at it, it's very goldish in comparison to...
it's not coming across on the screen at all. But in person, it's freaking gold. As in Austin Powers, remember Gold Member? He's like, I love gold. That's what that watch reminds me of. Yeah.
I love gold.
So we all have a selection of these digital cheapo watches in front of us. I use cheapo and in quotation marks once again. For those that are, I should preface this. We are trying to record this with video. Last time we tried to record something with video, George disappeared. So he wasn't even there. And he was the one showing all the watches. So that didn't work out. So we're trying again to record a video with George. So for those of you listening, you can go over to YouTube and maybe if all of the technology works, watch this video. Yes. Okay. We're going to show some watches, but we're going to try to talk about them because I know that we've had issues before and the video didn't work. And of course, some people just prefer to listen. So we're going to concentrate on everything we show. We try to talk about as well. So you don't miss out. Yep. So perfect. George, you started off. Why in the hell did you want us to have this episode to begin with?
Why talk about digital quartz?
So absolutely. I mean, it's a lovely, I think we always watch collectors would absolutely admit to the fact that we have enough watches in the collection that is something that we reference as beater watches. You don't care about it. You put it on, you go to throw in the garbage or I don't know what, any excuse you find, obviously to get something like that. And it typically starts with the fact that they're inexpensive and you presumably don't care. But I think this is probably one of the things that's the farthest away from the truth, right? Because the reality is we as watch geeks and collectors actually really do care about that. Hence why we go after 35th anniversary edition collections, etc., rather than actually not truly caring. I think it is obviously as well an affordable segment market, but as Martin said, affordable, right? Because some of these, the metal ones and the gold ones, and let's say the MTG series, I think they're like $1,500.
Yeah, but
MRG.
MRG is even above MTG,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
MRG
Correct.
are going up to $5,000, $6,000, $7,000,
Yeah.
which is
So-
ridiculous. But it's still not as crazy as the one Ralph and I saw at Dubai Watch Week this year. There it is. Thank you for having it immediately on cue. This is the 18 karat gold,
Pure.
solid gold,
Mhm.
pure gold. They made how many of them, Ralph? Do you remember?
20, I think.
20, I
or
think, yeah.
30. Yeah, something.
Something very little, and we saw one. I mean, the fact is, there's 20 of these in the world.
Yeah.
It costs what, like 150,000 dirhams is what they were asking for it.
No, they were like asking for like 300,000 or something.
Oh,
at the
sorry.
time.
What was the original price? It was 150.
I think it was 120, 130, 50 or something. I was offered that watch at the Al Futtaim boutique, even though it was supposed to be sold out very quickly. And for whatever reason, they let me just get back here to my
Well,
camera.
it matches your wedding band perfectly.
Yeah.
So maybe you should have got it.
So they offered it to me for 90,000, and it came in this box with straw, and there was a little teapot, right? The Japanese
Like a ceramic teapot, right?
And inside the teapot, yeah, and that you could actually use this teapot, right? And inside the teapot was the watch and all of the stuff. It was really cool. For 90, so that was a discount of, I think, whatever, 50,000 or something, which is nearly a third discounted of the price. And at the time, I thought, nah, you can't spend 90,000. At the time, it would have been my most expensive watch, and I just couldn't buy a golden G-Shock because nobody will know that.
No, that's the point. And it weighs a metric ton.
It is super heavy.
It's so heavy. Like it's so
And I
much.
should have bought it because now I think the
gold value
of this
yeah.
watch is already more than that. That's why they sold it for 300,000 now, right?
I'm gonna Google to see if I can find a weight of this. How much did the solid gold G-Shock weigh?
You probably need the
most of it is going to be 300 grams. So, and remember, that was Dream Project number 1. And then they did a Dream Project apparently number 2, which was 355 grams, which was not the square, G-Shock square, but this one was 297 grams, 300 grams. And we know that the module weighs 1 gram. So I think the majority of that is solid gold. Yeah. So how much? I'll do another quick search. Let's say 250 grams of that is gold. Gold price 18 carats.
But it's 18 karat. Yeah, I saw you.
Yeah. I put it up. 250 grams of 18 karat gold in the UAE goes from 91,625 to 92,500. So you would have just now
recovered
got even on just 250 grams of gold. That's a quarter of a kilo, guys, of gold. That's ridiculous. So not to mention the watch, the teapot, the rarity, and all that stuff. So, but I think that is, if I'm not mistaken, that's probably the most expensive quartz digital watch that you can buy, right? Like I can't think of it.
Yeah, okay, digital is yes.
And new.
I was just thinking about the FP Jones and
no,
Yeah,
just digital, because I'm thinking, I'm sure there was a freaking rubber G-Shock that was taken to the moon or something, or space, that is going to be after, market, on the auctions. Yeah, we'll have it. But brand new, to come out with 120,000 dirham watch at the time, like I don't think there was any other digital quartz watch. Listeners, correct us if we're wrong. But I can't imagine there being anything more expensive than that.
So this is then the absolute exit grail watch for every digital Casio or just digital quartz watch collector, because that's it, right? I mean, you can't go higher than that. If you want to be one,
I guess you can if you go to Casio and ask them to make one in platinum.
Imagine a piece unique in platinum. Who would you have to be to get that pulled off? That's ridiculous.
For anyone out there listening, should you decide to do that, let us know so we can actually do an interview and tape it, right?
Yeah, how much it would be. All right. So going up back to our original. So you messaged me, you reached out to me and said, let's do this episode. And you specifically had in mind Timex when you were telling me, let's do this.
Well,
so what Timex and why?
Timex, Casio. I think this was originally, I probably remember as a kid, I had one of these lovely Timex, like most of us did.
The Iron Man?
And then that's what one of the elements that was early on kind of pushing a lot of my thought process of understanding into that hobby, let's put it this way. But it was always a fun part. And I think this is what somewhere down in my brain started that, I don't want to call it obsession so that it doesn't sound bad, but, love for the digital watches. And no matter how many other watches are in my collection, I haven't sold them. Or I haven't passed them on to anyone else. Many people would probably say, well, they're not worth a lot. So, you're spending probably more time, doing this. But then again, I keep on also buying them. I think that's the other part. There's something very cool about this, whole resin rubber part of it. And I actually have one of my early on more adult Casio watches, which unfortunately the battery is out. But when you look at this, the size of this and how it looks like, right?
Yeah.
It would literally, for all of you, so this is called a Sea Pathfinder. So it was supposed to be going around and like having some sonar understanding in waves and this and that with some of all these sensors.
So this is a Casio as well, right?
Yeah. So this is a Casio. I mean, let's see if we can.
It's a half metal. The bezel is metal. The side case is metal, but so it's a chonker for sure.
The bezel, which is, by the way, rotational bezel. Huh? Funnily enough, one of these that didn't exist, and then everything else is the typical Casio. But that's strap. The rubber strap. So the early days, so before the proper nice resin. So this is a bit like it stands on its own. So it's
you still have to say that this is. I have to give it to them because one of the things is that I used on Safari because I used a lot my new MIP watch from Casio because of if you have all of this stuff on your skin, right, and you have the whatever mosquito repellent and the sun protection and all of this stuff, and some of it is melting plastic. So DET, for example, there's a mosquito repellent which is said like do not put it on anything plastic because it melts it. So you think okay, but I'm wearing a plastic watch. But I must say this resin is completely withstanding any kinds of chemicals. It's pretty good. So the watch does not disintegrate. It's still fine. So yeah, that they have researched it well. I mean, even my oldest ones are holding up very well. I had a few Pro-Tracks in my life, sold them mostly, but I have one that I wanted to show you. I don't know if you know this, George. I think here this one, which is the Pro-Track.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Safari.
Yes,
this one has the entire back of this strap is loomed. So when you put this watch on,
that's awesome.
And it's fully charged up on the underside of the strap.
Awesome.
Then you actually have there's like a ring of glow around your arm. It's pretty insane. It's a weird one. Maybe I find a picture that I can put on the screen.
That is cool.
But that's and they have these two, as you said, sensors, and that's why I was referring to that. So this is I think it has the temperature, it has a compass, and I think a barometer. So these are the three things it has. So it can get you the height with a barometer, so the air pressure, right? So you can get the height and compass and temperature. But for the temperature, if you wear the watch, obviously it's wrong. You have to just put it off your wrist for at least half an hour, and then you have a proper reading of.
What is the temperature?
Yes.
In the
So-
absence of an Apple Watch, that will tell you immediately.
No, we were just saying this. I'm not too sure if the Apple Watch itself has a quartz regulating
Of course.
mechanism.
How else would it keep the time?
By what's it called? By getting a signal, just like your phone.
Yeah, but if you switch off the signal, your time, it still keeps the time. It still has a quartz watch. It just corrects it. There is even your computer has a quartz watch built in. Everything has a quartz watch built in. It's a small chip nowadays.
It does.
Still has to have this. And it drifts because these quartz watches are very low quality and very cheap.
Apparently, it's a temperature regulated, temperature sensitive quartz regulated.
In the Apple Watch. They're pretty good. As always, I mean, Apple usually does not make rubbish most of the times. But in these computers and stuff, you see this. If you have a computer that doesn't sync with the network, you see how quickly it drifts off by minutes sometimes. So it's not the best.
Well, let's look it up here. I have 4 watches.
So
and 1142, 1143, 1144, 1144. So 4 G-Shocks, set them all at the same time. Who knows when?
I know that from my G-Shocks, because they are all Bluetooth, because I don't buy any G-Shocks anymore that don't have Bluetooth for the time syncing. Except, of course, the Pro Track. And with that, you see that it's off. So, for example, I can tell you with the one that is synced that this watch is off by 20 seconds.
Okay.
Unacceptable.
From wherever I said it the last time, which was probably not too far out, it's 20 seconds off. And you see that the G-Shocks do go off by 15, 20, 30 seconds a month at least, if you don't sync them.
Yeah.
With a source. So it's, and some go fast, some go slow, which is surprising, right? So it's just the crystals are
not exactly the same. Yeah.
Not Grand Seiko quality.
Yeah. Oh. For the price that some of these are, I'm not surprised.
The point is also it's not needed because they are assisted, right? You have the way of either via Bluetooth or via the radio frequency or via GPS. They get their stuff depending on what watch it is. So I wanted to ask you, before we go into the details, Martin, and the amount of watches, do you have any digital quartz watch that is not Casio? I know, George, you do, but
I have one which I didn't bring out here. Technically, it is a digital quartz watch. My Garmin.
Okay.
Does that count?
Okay, my Apple Watch then is also.
Yeah, so I didn't bring it out for the
tag.
not.
Does the tag count?
Yes.
The old tag.
And then, the tag, I guess it's in the same category. We have an Apple Watch, a Garmin watch, and you have the Tag Heuer connected. And before we started this episode, we were just chatting about this. When the Tag Heuer connected watch came out, it was such a ridiculously, big deal. It was the first of its kind. It was the first luxury connected watch. And because they didn't know how prevalent smartwatches would become, they offered the buyers this kind of way out, which was you buy the watch, and if you don't like it, they will swap in a mechanical automatic movement for you, which was, I think it was just the regular caliber 5, they call it, Tag Heuer call it, which is the Sellita SW200. But they would, for I think 6,000 dirhams, swap this in for you. And Ralph and I have discussed this before. We've never, ever seen one that had this swap done, right?
Yeah.
So they mentioned this, they made a big deal about it, but everyone that I've talked to that had this watch, like here's George has the same story. You tried to swap it, did you not? And what happened?
They told me that ultimately they're not really sure if it's going to be swapped on the same watch or whether they'll actually give me a new watch. And I think this was around, when I was trying to do this, was around maybe a little bit COVID. And well, obviously wrong timing, with all the parts. So they told me sit and wait and then come back again, etc. And then, to a watch collector, this is how you burst the bubble and you just lose.
But you
any
can still go
interest
back
in this.
today. is this still something they're doing now, or is it no
I
longer?
that's a very good question, actually. I mean, maybe if I find spare time and interest, I might actually poke the bear out on on that and see
I
what they
think you
would
should.
say. Right?
Yeah, I think you should just go to the Tag Heuer boutique and just say like, okay, I'm here to exchange my. Yeah.
I was told when I
Give me-
bought this watch
Give it
that
to me.
I could exchange it for a mechanical movement and see what
Correct.
they say.
Correct.
I wouldn't even mention that you bought it, secondhand or anything. Just
No,
Oh yeah,
no,
absolutely.
go in and say,
Because
I was told.
this was
Yeah.
I clearly remember there were 6,000 or 6,500. Oh wow, love the picture. Love the
That's
picture.
super
I just
cool.
put the
For
picture
those that
on
haven't seen, this is the loomed strap on Ralph's
Amazing.
Russ,
Absolutely amazing.
Casio.
it looks pretty
That's impressive.
insane.
It does.
The problem is you have to, of course, charge the watch when you're not wearing
Of
it,
course.
because otherwise you don't get the Lume on the underside of.
It looks like those
Weird.
disinfectant lights, that they have.
Yeah, it does look pretty cool. It's blue and it's just like.
It seems to me like this is something like if somebody saw you wearing, like they'd be like, "What the hell is wrong with this guy? Like, why is his arm glowing?"
What is he doing?
Yeah, you'd have to explain it to somebody.
But you
Superhero.
should put this strap actually on another watch that has the Lume dials.
Right.
So if you combine it with that, that would be like funky stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
full Lume
does-
dial, full loomed watch, full Lume strap.
Go to a
does
nightclub
have,
and walk around.
I think, if I remember it correctly, I think it also has really nice light. But of course, I don't know if it only comes out when you press the button. I have to see if I find this picture. And it has also its own. How do you say that? It has its own light sensor, so it doesn't come on by accident. So it's
Okay.
kind of a special one, right?
So I think both of the metal ones and the one that I'm wearing have this light sensor where you tilt your arm at a certain angle, the light comes on, but it doesn't do it in the daytime, right? So it has to have a light sensor to know, or maybe it just uses the clock itself to say, okay, well, if it's after 7 p.m., then I will do it. And if it's, not, I don't know. Then again, I should try to, if I go into the bathroom or somewhere dark, like, would it work? I don't remember. I have no idea.
You have to check that.
I should.
It should work. Yeah.
Then that means that there's a light sensor. But in the same vein, I do want to talk a little bit about the other G-Shocks I have in front of me. And I'm sure everybody else has a bunch of stuff. I have the least amount of stuff. So these aren't even mine, technically. I just bought them. I have two G-Shocks.
Wait a second. You just said they're not yours, but you bought them, or you brought
exactly.
them?
I bought them. But
So
they're
why
not
are they
mine.
not yours?
They're my daughters, of course.
Okay,
So,
okay.
but they're so cool that I do want to talk about them. So
He's
of
the
course,
financier.
yeah, I have this monstrosity, which is the solid metal silver variety, which George has as well. Ralph used to have. This is Ralph's. I bought this from Ralph. So I had, I think, 5 or 6 of these in the past, and I always sold it. And this one, Ralph's, I felt like I had to keep because, it was Ralph's. So I did keep this one.
Mm-hmm.
But this was my original. My first one was this, not first, but I've had G-Shocks for an extremely long amount of times. If I go back, I remember back in university, I used to buy G-Shocks. I bought the plain, the squares. I always went for the squares. And I had a few of them, and I don't know what happened to them, where they ended up, but they were like $40 at the time. It was nothing. But so this is of course, as we said, the screw-in case back version of the G-Shock Square, and it has the most supple of rubber bands. It's a fantastic strap. But I was really keen on getting my daughter a G-Shock as well. But in order for her to have a G-Shock, she had to be able to tell time on an analog clock without any numbers. So effectively having a watch that is, just baton indices. And she had to be able to tell time. And I gave her a time frame. Like, you have to be able to tell me the time in like 5 seconds. If you're able to do that, at any given time, then I will buy you a G-Shock. She really wanted a G-Shock. So, because of course the G-Shocks come in pink. So she learned how to tell time. She's the only kid in her class that knows how to tell time. She's the only kid in her class that knows how to tie her shoes as well, but that's neither here nor there. So her first G-Shock was this light pink Baby G, which this is the base model, the entry level, the smallest one that you can buy aside from the G-Shock ring. And this thing has the functionality of a regular DW5600. So it is super cool. But she loves the color, this little, whatever you want to call it, light pink color. But then last year we were in Romania, and this is a watch that I was looking for forever, and I never saw one. And we found two. So I bought both of them, one for my wife, one for Lana. And this is let me see the first one, by the way, for those that are wondering, is called the no, I can't read the BGD 565.
This is what I was fearing, that we were having all of these.
My eyesight, God. And then the other one is called the BLX 565, I think, or something like that. 566, something like this. And essentially, this was a limited edition run that they did in 3 or 4 colors. They had it kind of pictured in the ad, poolside with some cocktails. And it has the see-through pink straps. So if you look at it, it's semi-translucent.
Quasi-transparent.
But it has, so even though it's a Baby G, it has, and there's Ralph's glowing. Look,
yeah, it doesn't.
Very nice.
I think it's
so this one has the Tide Graph module.
Oh, yeah.
So we can go into it and we can see, on the top, it has a Tide Graph. And the big thing is it has a world time function as opposed to the other one, right? And the world time function for this is not like the world time function for these, where you get to choose 4 and that's it, right? Here, you go through like a world timer. And when you go into the world time function, you click through the entire globe. And so I bought Christy one, I bought Lana one. And because why? Every time we frickin' travel, I have to set their watches. And now they can set their own watches because they just go through and select the time zone we're going to and boom, done. So the fact is we traveled. Lana set the time zone correctly. We were in the Paris time zone. She set it. Then we went into the Romanian time zone, which was, I think, the Greek time zone. She set that. And then we came back. She put it back to home time and everything is grand. So this is, I don't know. It's for how small it is. Here it is compared to my other G-Shock. It is a tiny watch, and it has a freaking Tide Graph, and it has, once again, all this cool stuff. How cool is that? Like, I mean, and then not to mention the colors are awesome. These two are perfect kids watches, I think, or even in Christie's case, adult watches.
What I think sometimes is underappreciated of how it's sometimes unintuitive it is to actually set things on your watch without looking at the manual. You have to have these double press at the same time, different things. You know, I don't know if you have this ever had before when you have this hourly ping, this sound. That,
the chime on the
chime, and you turn it off.
Yeah. And so you have no idea how you switched it on. And then for whatever reason, you want to switch it off because night, for example, and you have no idea what to do. And then you just mess up every other setting that you can find because it's something weird, something long press, something double press, different buttons and combinations of buttons. And I can never remember this. So thankfully, there is an app for that, the Casio app, which has all of the manuals inside it. So you can access them.
But this is now one of the drawbacks of these digital watches, right? If I put a gun to your head and say, without messing up a single button press, set the time on your G-Shock, I think we would all die. Like, there's no way. But if you give me a mechanical watch, you unscrew it, boom, 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 right? And so that is one of the detractors that, this like, I was just now noticing that you mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, if you guys see, see that little thing above the seconds? Isn't that the chime, the hourly chime notification thing?
Probably.
There's that little dot
We should
We
hear
will
it.
hear that
We
in
should hear it in 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, there's a little, I don't know what that is. And I'm trying to go in and seeing what the hell that is because I have no idea.
Yeah, they
And
have
this is
some
a problem.
indicators for daylight saving time sometimes.
That just says DST, I think.
Yeah, it does.
At least on, the daylight savings. And then on this one, we have PS LT. This is the metal one, right? The PS is power save mode. LT is the automatic light. RCVD, it means that you received your signal. And then it has in other time zones, the daylight savings time is just DST. So it's got all these freaking acronyms. And you know it, you don't know it, but this one at least is Bluetooth, right? So do it, as Ralph said, do it with the app.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a cool thing about the app.
So,
George, one other thing, maybe memory lane to childhood times, I guess, perhaps. But I recall another Casio variant, and I think, Ralph, you talked about the 91W, but I'm not going to go in the 91W, but something else that was a huge element for me at the time when we were growing up, to the extent that actually a friend of mine gifted me this. I actually bought it for himself and for me, and they were such a cheap watch at that time, but kind of as a memory lane.
Oh, the calculator.
Oh, the calculator watch.
And I still look at this and I'm like,
but this isn't the basic one.
Well, this is a more it's a more recent one that has quite a number of functions, dual time, and I don't know what, Obviously, it's not the one that I had when I was a child. It was a much smaller one, and but then again, I look at this. I can barely press the buttons now as it is. So when you were kids with smaller fingers, kind of you can do something. But
I know, but
still super
you remember
interesting.
back in the days when you had this watch, how they were very rubbery, right?
Yeah.
Buttons.
Yeah.
And it was not easy. It was a bit mushy to press them. It was a bit, but it is pretty nice to just have this. And I saw this recently I was in India, and there you see, of course, I mean, because you would see it probably here in the Casio boutique as well. But if you look at it, you have a gazillion of these calculator watches coming back in, because all of the retro things are, the hipsters love it. So I wanted to quickly share my screen and show you something.
Sure.
And this is something which I think is also explaining some of the excitement that George was saying, because if you look at just the new arrivals here on this, on Japan Select, is where you can buy Japanese domestic market watches, the so-called JDM watches.
Yeah.
From the new releases, and it is just insane. Most of them are quartz, but not all of them, of course, right? And you have a gazillion of watches that are special collaboration models that you have never heard of, with some interesting stuff. For example, this one here, super cool. It's a Casio with Ice Circle. I don't know what it is. ICERC collaboration there. It has a little penguin as the indicator, right? Super sweet details. And it comes just on the Japanese domestic market, $200. But really, really cool designs. We have the Year of the Horse limited editions from Seiko. All of the different ones, all of the different anime characters that are also more and more popular in other parts of the world, of course. Lots of Star Wars, stuff. Lots of Fender collaborations. I don't know if they're making a Fender collaboration somewhere else. Peanuts, whatever you put. I mean, there's so many things coming out that you have, and this is just the recent few weeks, right here. The Detective Conan is also a anime cartoon thing, right? So all of the stuff where you can see all of these funky watches. And if you're not looking at the screen now, if you're hearing this as a podcast, go to japan-select.com and just look at the new arrivals and be mesmerized. What I also wanted to say is there's a couple of cool Citizen digital watches or Ana Digi watches, and they have gotten a huge resurgence recently.
Yeah.
Also with a Star Wars themed,
Yeah.
and also with just general different ideas, and they look extremely old-fashioned and retro. These Ana Digi ones,
It's super
Ana Digi
cool.
10. But they are cool. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of
Go
things
down
to-
one more. Oh, you went back. Never mind.
Yeah. Go
There was
one more.
that. What is that? That's your MRG, right? Or is MRG? That's the
Yes.
new-
No.
yeah.
That's a different one. It's no. This
rubber
is
strap.
It's a G Squad GMH 5600. I have no idea what that is. That's new. It is also seems to be a solar powered
Heart rate
Yeah.
monitor. It's one of those.
So it's the thicker
What's it
ones,
called?
right?
Yeah.
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 If you go to the backside, you'll see there it is.
Yeah.
The paw print.
There's a charging port and there's a solar powered. But if you run the heartbeat monitor, it will eventually run empty. You need to charge it with the stuff. It's connected to Polar, the smartwatch company Polar with a heartbeat and blood oxygen, blah blah blah. So there seems to be a bit of this now coming more and more watches where the Casio embraces
I
a
don't
bit
like
of
it.
smartwatch stuff, just like these kind of things, while still being traditionally a watch company. Funny, right? This actually a company decides that we are doing the quartz watches old school. We are not doing a smartwatch. Really, we are still having our MIP display. We are not putting in fancy LCD displays and OLEDs and what have you, but adding some of these smartwatch functions like a fitness tracker or something in this, but basic, right? And
But I
still selling it
think,
for more than a lot of smartwatches.
That's the part, right? And in all fairness, probably I think the other element, Rav, that it was very clear to me when I look at all these what I would call marketing gimmicks, these variations, collaborations, etc. It's at this moment, this is the cost of production for that watch is $2 probably. So they're taking, for all practical purposes, north of 80% in profits. So it's super funky. So to your point, when something is even more expensive, what's that incremental production cost that they're having? It's really minute, but you're selling actually pieces in the thousands, right? Why they never do any limited editions of this, even when they say this is the 35th anniversary edition, right? You never know how many pieces have been produced, as many as they can sell within that year, right? And then something new comes in. And as you said, the anime one, this is my favorite one that, when they changed a lot of the things and now all this, they started giving them in the variations with the anime, right? And you showed it on the screen. It was the white version with the black dial. I have actually somewhere in the boxes, I have the blue with when it came out, I think last year or the year before.
So this is like this one here, right?
Correct.
The Casio.
Yeah.
But again,
Which now, by the way, they just came out with a new variety of these Casios. I don't know if you saw this, but it was essentially the MRG looking Casios, but it's not MRG prices, right? So I don't know what it's called, but essentially it is a extremely fancy looking metal dial. God, how many of these do you have, Ralph? Ralph's holding up like the fifth Casio at the moment.
All my Casios. The metal one with the light blue dial, the metal one with the green dial, because green is important.
Absolutely.
Then, of course, the watch that I actually wanted to take for my Safari, which was this one, because it looks like a Safari watch, brown and beige, right?
With a tan cloth strap.
Yeah, and then
the original.
Exactly. Yeah. And of course, this is not the original; it's a newer one because it's Bluetooth.
Because it has
it has the white hands,
the pink.
It has yeah. Because what I didn't like about the first Bluetooth enabled Casio was that it had the black hands.
Yeah.
It was at very poor legibility, and I
Correct.
always wondered why.
Yeah.
And now they rectified it, and this one is much better to read. So
I will share my screen and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I found.
So that's why I originally bought the white
yes,
indices
because
one
that
from the
you can
OG
read.
one, because I just
The
couldn't
OG.
read anything else.
Yeah.
All right,
absolutely.
check this, guys.
Perfect. Yeah.
Look at this. This is called the Lux Black.
Whoa.
And it's a metal case. Essentially, I don't know. It says G-Shock on the dial. Apparently, you're supposed to wear it with a suit, maybe. I don't know. But it is. There's a few different versions of it. The basic one is there's a gold tone and a silvery blacky tone, I guess. But it is reminiscent of the, there you guys go, of the MRGs, right? But oops, let me
design-wise, or color scheme-wise,
Yeah.
yes, but it's from a, of course, yeah.
But I think
so
they
what?
combined it. So let me, this one, the one that I'm showing on the camera now,
let me close my app 1 second
is
so
the
we can see
one
what
that
you're.
actually came. It
There you
was.
go.
This is the metal one on top, right? So it was the combination of this and a bit of a gravitational force from the MTGs that they created this, the oak looking one, right? And then they were always looking to build this toughness and everything. And I remember when this came out, this was like, I think, around 1,500 dirhams at the time. And I looked at this and I was like, my God, this is a lot for a Casio, right? I was like, what is this? You know? But it paved the way, right? With all of this.
Totally. Yeah.
In a very funky way with all these dials and everything. And because it was with a lot of metal encasing. So it took that part in, and then they just made them propel phenomenally.
And that went two ways, right? That went in two directions. One was the Casio models, but then the other one was the metals, right? Because they started using, they had many Casios with some metal components, but then this in 2018 or 2017 or whenever it was the first full metal, and they were very adamant to call it the full metal G-Shock, because this one had no resin components whatsoever, right? So yours was the predecessor kind of to both of these lines. But you also had an MRG, no?
I did. But I don't know where on earth he's gotten to, frankly speaking.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? You know what? I think it's I mean, I was an avid collector of the metal G-Shocks, right? I really enjoyed them a lot. But I must say, that was also one of the watches that I think was the first one that was about $500, right? Retail price. And where I thought, who is going to do this? Who is going to buy a watch for this price, right? I mean, a digital Casio G-Shock. Obviously, the ship has sailed. I mean, I have bought so many of these, but I just show that here on the screen.
Yeah.
So that was my collection back in the days.
But you had more than this, no?
Yeah, I had more. I had, But
do you have the picture with all of the squares? Because you had a case full of squares at one point.
I know, but this is, for example, two of the titanium ones here on the bottom. Then you see the rose gold one, the one that the Tron, then the traditional one that Martin now has, then the aged IP, it was called back in the days. That was also quite cool. Then I had the yellow gold version and so on and so on. I had so many of these. I had what is called a wine colored one. It was very red one. Metal. I mean, there's so many of these, and it was fun while it lasted. Let's say it this way. But most of these I actually were able to sell for a profit, because some of them
you sold to me.
Yeah, that was not profit. But this was the first one where I thought, this is insane. When a friend of mine came over to me and said, I got this new metal G-Shock, and it's amazing. And he's a big watch collector, right? So, and I looked at this watch and I thought, like, you're stupid. You cannot buy for 500-600. What was 1,500 dirhams or 1,800 dirhams at the time? You cannot buy a Casio, digital Casio watch for that price. But then I put it on my wrist, and I thought, ooh, I like it. And a week later, I bought it. So it's
yeah, but this all started with, you had Casio
so cool.
squares, right?
Absolutely.
Beforehand. So it's not like you jumped straight into a $500, $600 metal, right? You had other Casios prior, and it builds you up. And this is exactly what Casio wants you to do.
Of course.
Start cheap, build your way up, get the metal.
Coming back to this one thing about why Casio does smart functions, but not a real smart watch. I think why they're doing this is if you have a smartwatch like the one that counts your steps or something, right? You can always use it, counting your steps on the display. It can interface with some apps, I guess. But even if everything is obsolete, it still works, right? I mean, if all the software doesn't work, this watch will still continue to work. If it doesn't get software updates, it doesn't matter because the watch in itself will still work. New battery inside, boom.
And then you go.
But that goes for every Casio watch, right? So it's not like the Apple Watch where you, without a software update, like I've seen so many of these bricked Apple Watches because they're too old. They just can't run the modern operating system anymore. And
I mean,
they're disposable items, right? And this is the difference between these. If you have a Timex from 1990 or whenever they came out, 96,
but in a new battery,
they're still operating watches, and that's what makes them so cool. They're not tech. They are.
And I think this
watches.
is what Casio does pretty smartly there, right? Because they really, it's an intelligent decision because they're saying, well, you have this watch, everything in this watch. I mean, the only thing I cannot do in the watch, in these MIP watches, is when you look at this, is the font, right? If you want to change the font from the traditional segment font to the other one, then you have to use the app. So this would be the other font, the
modern font.
Modern font, which is a bit better legible, I must say, from a distance because the numbers are a bit taller. But you have to change this in the app. There's no way of doing this on the watch. Other than that, everything you can set in the watch itself, just with a lot of button presses.
So look, I think I see another element in them is that what they like you to do is to end up with what we were showing, right? You end up with multiple ones, and that's their idea, right?
This is it.
If they fix one, then that becomes the de facto one, and that's it. You can't really go into these variations.
All of us are doing this, right? With all of this crap in our hands, and
it's everything.
Who won? Who won? Casio won. Right?
Absolutely.
Yes, Casio.
Look at this nice yellow part on this, I looked at it and I was like, my God, this is pretty.
Yes, it is pretty.
And that's it. And I looked at it, I was like, 400 dirhams. Okay, let's go with it.
This is the issue. Exactly. I totally agree. It is impulse buys. And I have tried to buy the MRG square, the titanium with the Cobarian whatever, because they had one in the Dubai boutique, and it was banged to hell because it was clearly out there for like 5 years or however long. And I don't know who I was it one of you guys? I don't know who I was chatting with. But I told the guy, because original price was like 20K almost. And then they get it down to, I think, 15 on discount. And then the guy says, we'll give it to you for 10. And I told him, I'll do it for 8. And then he never wrote me back. But in retrospect, I don't even think I'd pay 8 for it. Like, it's a great watch, but 8K is still a shitload of money for a Casio. But at the end of the day, this is why I feel these limited editions are great pairings with these Casio G-Shocks because, as you said, these are impulse buys. And who cares? You can have 100 of them. It doesn't matter. And as we know, G-Shocks don't count, right? So
unwritten law for watch
100%. Yes.
collecting.
You can have 100 of
Absolutely.
them, and it doesn't matter. Your watch collection's still small.
Zero.
Exactly. So this is why I think it's great. But when you see these expensive, collabs like, with God knows whom and whoever, it becomes, like for instance, the new Zenith carbon cover girl for Revolution, right? There's 150 of them or 125 of them, whatever it is. And you're looking at it like, Jesus, that's like, you'd really have to be invested to spend that kind of money on that limited edition or that collaboration. But the NASA DW 5600, right? Cost you $50, $100 at most. And it's a collaboration with NASA. It's so cool. They made a collaboration with Coke. They made a collaboration with, everyone. The Bamford ones were super cool. And those were super cheap, which I think Bamford just made a new one, for which Bark and Jack has made a strap as well. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, so they made a Bamford. I will show you. I will share my screen. Bamford.
You sold yours, right? I still have mine somewhere. Actually, it's
that was the
even
big one, the 6900.
Yeah, I still have it.
So it was just a bit big for me for my wrist. But here, this is the new one. Oh, look, they're available immediately at our Casio Mia and Watch Shop. But this is the one you had here in the middle.
Yeah, correct.
The 6900 version, but this is the new one here. On sale. I love it. How much is it here? 978 dirhams. Metal GM 5600 BWD, Bamford Watch Department. And then what's cool is, I don't know how I feel about that, but that's the strap for it. And then if you want, Bark and Jack G-Shock Bamford strap was just released yesterday or 2 days ago, something like this. Let me go to just the Bamford strap page. It's an aqua blue NATO strap. And if you look at it, it clips on somehow. You get some little end pieces for it to wind through. And it's a good looking watch, right?
It is.
And it says Bamford and Bark and Jack on it. So cool. And once again, 1,000 dirhams for a metal. Of course, this is not the full metal like we are showing off. I think this has the screw-in case back. Here you go.
Yeah,
that's nice.
So the cheap case back.
The limited
And I
edition,
believe
though. Yeah.
made in Thailand, which I do not buy G-Shocks made in Thailand. I want mine to be Japan made. But nonetheless, it's still a cool watch.
Casios then, because they're all made in Thailand.
Exactly why I don't.
Oh.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm limited.
Anyways,
so I could do 6900s, I could do 5600s and limited ones. But
I wanted to share these. Let me just share the.
But they always have them on a very good version. I don't know, Martin, if you remember when I bought the green oceanic one from Hodinkee when they were exiting the online store, and I bought the 5600 oceanic or something. It was
it's
a
not
green
oceanic.
one.
It's
ocean something.
No, it's not ocean. It's magic mushroom or something. Something stupid.
I think that's slightly different stuff you've had.
No, it's ceramic something. Ceramic.
Okay.
Ocean
whatever.
ceramic.
The green one.
Something. Yeah.
Ocean. No, it's not ocean ceramic.
What I wanted to say is when you see somebody with this kind of calculator watch, right, or the new one. This is a retro vintage expired one with a data bank. Remember data bank where you could put in all the phone numbers of your friends and save them, multilingual with a 10-year battery. But look at retro inspired ones. How cool are they, right?
So this is the data bank, right?
Oh, you have it still. And I just wanted to mention before we go into your data bank, this one is a watch I gifted my wife. This is the one that has Bluetooth. Right? It actually connects to your phone. You don't have to set it. If you travel, it will automatically have the right time because it's connected to your phone. Because immediately when you land and you switch your phone into the right time zone, the watch will switch as well. I thought
Automatically.
it was great for my wife to travel with, right? No setting required. It has a step counter for whatever reason. And this one, she has a solid gold day date as well, right? But this watch gets more compliments than any other watch, because everybody is like, wow, this looks so cool. And it's actually relatively expensive, with like 500 to 600 dirhams, right? And I bought this version here. I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The silver one.
Open this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the silver version of this.
You're right there.
I just
no?
Yeah.
You can't click on it.
Yeah.
Weird. It's anyhow. So this is the metal version. I bought it for myself, but I recently gifted that to one of our listeners of the channel, to Ilan.
Elon Musk?
No, not Elon. Ilan, Ilan, from Germany. So he was listening to this. We got talking. He was a guest in my German-speaking podcast. He just turned 18.
Don't give George any ideas.
Yeah, so
I'm not gifting anybody anything. I'm expecting gifts.
Ralph will gift you. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is don't get expectations up for George, because he's been here how many times we haven't given anybody anything. Except for the pleasure of being here.
He's such an enthusiastic watch collector, a very young guy. So I sent him this watch for his birthday, together with some other watch books and stuff that he needs to read. So he's becoming a absolute watch nerd. So yeah, exactly. And that's why I think when I want this watch, and I will buy it again for myself. But I think it's so cool, so retro. And it still works so nice, because it's slightly bigger than in the old days, right? They have updated it slightly enough so that it's super relevant today. So sorry, now your data bank. Is this a data bank that is being connected to something? And you have I remember there were watches where you could put it into a external keyboard sort of thing and then actually program it.
I haven't done anything on this one. This was literally more of a sentimental value on the fact of reminiscing about this. Just as actually something else, because we've been talking about Casio.
Yes.
But I will give you another one, but I'm going to demonstrate, first of all, how much better the strap is, right? And it's rubber strap.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether this is visible, but you might start recognizing the symbols.
Seiko.
Yep.
Yes, yeah.
Yep. With these wonderful things. And this is Arnie's wonderful watch.
Right.
Yep.
So to me, this was the other one that
what is this one called? What is the name of this one? There's a name for it, which I can't think of. But yes, Arnold Schwarzenegger wore this in The Living Daylights or something. Which one? No, James Bond.
Wasn't it in Rambo?
No, Arnie. Not Seiko.
No, that was not Arnie then.
So it's called
Predator.
Yeah, Predator. Yeah.
And it is, you're right. It's called the Arnie. You're right. The SNJ025. It was worn in Predator.
So another question. You guys, have you seen this one? What we were talking about?
Oh, yes. The telephone something. What is it called? There's a name for this one too. So
I haven't seen it in person.
Rotocall. So the idea was it was supposed to be for timing phone calls.
Yeah. So
I really like this.
What you do is you have two buttons on the left and the right, but you have a rotating bezel, which is an octagonal bezel, and the mode is indicated by here what is on top. So you twist the entire thing around the watch, right? So you twist the bezel, and then you can put it to time set, to timer, to counter, to dual time, and so on.
So effectively, it is a what was the Rolex?
Command bezel.
Command bezel, exactly.
Yeah, from the old Yardmaster and the Sky Dweller. It's basically that, yeah. And it has this split display somewhat with the top and the bottom. It looks pretty cool. I think it's about Yeah, it's a
Tons of
500.
colors as well.
Have
It
you
comes
seen
in.
it? Have you seen it in person?
No.
I mean, how
It
does
is
it?
available.
How
Yeah,
does
but I
it
haven't
wear?
touched it.
I mean,
No.
it looks interesting, but I don't know,
Let's-
wearability.
Oops, that was wrong.
While Ralph really loads, you were talking about the online ceramics, is what it was called.
Yes. The green,
Not Ocean,
the green,
Ocean
correct.
Gate. Yeah.
We'll
Online
call it
ceramics.
Ocean
It was a
Gate.
hideous watch. For all intents and purposes.
$60.
You have it. Yeah, I know. It's still,
Is it
originally
60?
it was like
No,
200.
40,
Yeah.
48.
40,
I
but
think
even
in the
then,
final.
originally
It's ridiculous.
was 200 plus. And the fact is, people bought it, and I just can't imagine.
And my son is wearing it to this day, and I mean, talking about the beater watch, I mean, like that watch has like seen more knocks and nicks and everything than
And I have to
nothing
say,
has happened.
Troy also
Nothing.
has broken how many watches before that?
So on the Swatch Omega, actually Swatch replaced his watch because buttons
he
fell
broke it.
off,
Yeah.
and they just couldn't figure this out. Oh my god, it actually looks good.
One day we need to go in and try them on.
Yeah, I just
looks
showed the
good.
rotocall on somebody's wrist. So
The blue gray bezel looks the best by far. I think. But the red black, I think, was the original color. And this is what, yellow black, yellow bumblebee.
Yeah,
I think the blue gray is
here ready to ship 2,000 dirhams.
Jeez Louise.
But listen,
A bit much.
I just that's always my problem. I'm thinking, oh no, 2,000 dirhams. But then you go and get a new strap for your whatever, the Royal Oak offshore rubber strap without the buckle, and you pay 2,500 dirhams and say, it's what it costs.
Well, you needed it
for my I needed a different color. But you know what? And that's I just 2 months ago I did a down payment for the order for a rubber strap of my Chopard Alpine Eagle, the chronograph, right? That is 5,000 dirhams because it's titanium. With the titanium thing, it's a bit like the Oyster Flex, right? It has titanium in the sides. And of course, with a pin buckle, because you cannot use there is no clasp from the other bracelet that you can use. So 5,000. You had to make a down payment to confirm that you really, really want it. So I had to pay 1,000 dirhams.
That's just serious about it.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
When it puts it into perspective, this watch is 2,000 dirhams, but you get an entire watch for it, and it's a Seiko. It's good. It's
including a bracelet.
Including a bracelet, yes, and all of functionality and all of the stuff. The only thing that I don't like about it is it has a battery. So no, I mean, of course, all quartz watches have batteries, but not rechargeable, right? It's not a solar. I have a bit of a rule for my Casio watches, except the vintage ones, right? And actually, that would go through as a vintage inspired one, right? Because it's a reissue basically of the protocol. It has to be Bluetooth and it has to have solar charging, because I just don't like to change batteries. Just because I think it's you don't have to anymore, right? So
now one other one that we haven't even touched on. I'll pull it up here and you guys will say, oh, I forgot all about this. Here it goes.
For sure. Let's say it before you even show it. Oh, we forgot about it.
How about this one?
Okay.
Did we forget about this one?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
We did. The Omega Speedmaster X33 Skywalker, designed for space explorers, it says, which was technically, I mean, the replacement for the original Speedy to be taken to space. It's got a few cool versions as well, right?
Yeah, it is actually standard issue for European Space Agency's astronauts.
Yep. It says, I think on the back, tested and qualified for EASA right there on the back.
PSA, yeah.
And they did a few versions of it. It is, of course, a digital quartz and a digi. But then they have, it's 45 mm, which is a gigantor. But then they've made the blue one.
Yeah.
And is it titanium?
Yeah.
I thought the blue one was the titanium one. I'm not sure if the black one is.
I mean, right now, I think the only one available on the Omega website that is still being sold
is the Mars timer.
Is the Mars timer, which has the length of a day
in Mars.
On Mars.
Thank you.
Yeah,
comes
but
in super handy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I have looked at different versions of this watch very often, and I was very tempted for,
It's titanium on titanium.
See, this one is not anymore available, but they're still producing it.
This is the original. This is the cool one. I hate them for doing this.
They're still producing it. They're just not selling it to normal people. They're still selling it to ESA, European Space Agency, for the astronauts in limited quantities. So it's still being produced, but not being sold to the public.
How much was it originally?
I think it was about 15,000 dirhams.
It wasn't ridiculous. Let me see if I can find. There's no X33s available
now
at all. Where did you find this?
Instruments.
Where?
I'm
here under collections.
You just had this in. Click on all speed master, yeah. Somewhere over the rainbow.
Movement type, nothing. Self-winding or manual. Those are your two options.
Then I think you have to check somewhere else. It was in instruments or something, or professional models, something like that. Omega watches.
33 Mars timer. Let's see if it even comes up.
You have to go
Rivoli has it. Here it is. Omega Mars timer. Titanium on titanium. Sorry, this watch is no longer available.
Yeah, I think the only one they have is now the Seamaster Regatta. Yeah, that's that. And it's...
So none of the X33s are available.
Go to Omega Watches.
That's right.
Just go to Omega Watches. Yeah.
Watches.
And then click on Watches. And then click on Instruments. And then you see...
Where is Instruments?
On the brightest side, the watch there.
The rightest. Oh.
The rightest.
Didn't see that.
And there you have, click on this one, and then you see it in nice and big. This is
13,000.
Why are you on an Australian website?
I have no idea. I'm not on any.
35,000 dirhams. 35,000 dirhams, this one. It's a regatta timer with all of the functionalities. Of course, not the mission timers, all of the stuff that the astronauts use. And apparently, I mean, I have seen a documentary about this watch of how smart that is, that you have so many different timers. I think you have like 10 separate timers on this watch that can run concurrently. One is for the mission time. One is for a specific time. One is the mission time 1, 2, 3, 4. One are countdowns. Some are counting down and then up once they're counted down. So there's a lot of things that actually astronauts need in order to understand when is this, when did the time, lapse basically, and then you can see that because the timer goes.
How much was that one?
Like 35,000 dirhams.
35. The regatta timer is 35, and it's a bit bigger as well.
So I can see it on Chrono, and on Chrono you can find.
So the official price is 34,300 dirhams here in the UAE.
For the Mars timer on Rivoli, apparently Rivoli still has Mars timers. Those are 32.2.
32.2. Okay.
So there you go.
Oh no, this is out of stock, but it just shows you the price.
18K.
And if you want the original,
yes, it makes sense.
We'll do an arbitrage.
Just half price Omega.
If you wanted the original 33, those are going for 8K nowadays. Yeah. So cheap as chips. But the X33 Regatta, apparently there was another version of this. I don't know if you guys knew this.
So 16.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
26 on Rivoli. 26.9 for that exact one.
So 17K 2017, like new unworn.
But that's not the same regatta as what we were just showing.
Yeah.
The
This
one that
is
we were
the-
showing is a newer
Yeah.
version, or whatever it is, because we don't know. Because Omega has a million things, as we've always discussed. They have to have 10 of everything.
I want to draw your attention quickly also to something, which is, again, something that we haven't spoken about. This one, right?
What
If you can
is
see
it?
it.
You're not showing anything.
Oh, am I?
Not
It helps
yet.
if you show it.
Not yet.
Oh, something is wrong here. Something is broken. I
Something's
didn't
very
but-
wrong.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, yes, the
of course.
Breitlings.
Of course.
Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
mention this. And
Yes.
this is obviously one of the ones that if we say X33, then in the
Yeah.
same breath, you have to say aerospace as well.
100%.
Yes, absolutely. And this is I mean, it crept up in price, right? It's now 18,000.
Yeah.
I remember they used to be like $2,000.
Yeah, and this is now the double that.
Yeah.
At least. No, it's
More.
even more than it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's this is still a watch. The night mission of this watch, I still like a lot, and
I like the blue dial, the
Yeah.
one that Nico used to have. I think was a fantastic looking watch. And then, of course, they made the Blue Angels version of this, right, as well, right? And then the Emergency, which is the one you're showing now,
It's
which
insane.
is 70,000 dirhams. God
It's
bless
insane.
America.
20,000.
It was so much
And then if
cheaper,
you
by the
accidentally
way.
pull,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
pull
yeah.
the antenna, it's like
You pay the bill.
100,000 euros fine or something.
Yeah, this is the upgraded model now. So they have a newer one that has some digital frequencies or something. It's apparently they have talked about this recently, that this is a special new version of it. Dual frequency distress beacon, all of these things. But yeah, it is pretty expensive. But
Yeah, but that
these
is a
are all
cool watch.
in the professional line of watches, right? So you have this normal quartz, also thermal compensated, and you see the other ones. But that shows that same as in Omega, who considers this an instrument, they consider this a professional watch.
Mhm.
There you go. Quartz, professional.
So your 1,500 meter dive watch is not a professional watch.
No,
That's an amateur watch.
It's a hobby.
that's
Hobbies. I'll see you at 300 meters, okay?
Yeah.
Just as a hobby.
Ex- As a hobby. But
Yeah.
anyway, anything else we missed, guys?
I mean, look, there are other quartz watch.
There's tons.
Quartz watches, lots of them. But the question is, are they digital? I think if it
No,
comes
there's
to,
tons of digital that we haven't talked about yet, right? Like, the cheapo, like Lego watch and all of these stupid stuff that you can find at a grocery store. There's a million of them, right? But
I feel in general, it's a nice ending to this, that quartz watch sees a lot of resurgence recently with Tissot having the solar charged analog quartz watches, right? The PRSPR, I don't know.
I mean, look at Tag Heuer doubling down on quartz, right? With the solar, the citizen movement, the Eco Drive one that they put out, whatever, Solar Graph. Then they have an entire range. To this day, they don't have a single non-quartz Formula One in the new modern style that they reissued.
But no digital.
No, they're not
So
digital,
the
of course.
quartz
But
is
they're
still the
really,
quartz. Yeah.
they're still doubling down on quartz, right?
But I
But
think
so
this
is Cartier.
interesting. So, so all of these, I mean, you have La Jouperet now having Swiss made. I mean, obviously it's from the Citizen, from Citizen technology, but it's built in Switzerland by La Jouperet. You have Ronda, the big ETA watchmaker for quartz watches, who makes now these solar chargeable watches as well, movements. And then, of course, Tissot makes one, some other ones as well, or maybe that is the Ronda movement. I don't know. But there's a plethora of now watches that
Suppliers,
have these, solar watches, because they are so convenient. They will always work. They also charge while wearing, but not because of gravity, but because of sunlight. And they usually run for years if they are properly charged without dying. So that's a perfect watch for people who are not watch people, who don't like to set watches, who just want to grab and go.
Yeah.
Ladies, for example, where you don't have to worry about it. So you just take it.
There's been two more that we forgot about. Let me pull them up very, very, very quickly. I think although
when you said the Tissot had a similar one to the Omega that you were showing, right? They were the ones who came into that space and quite some years ago.
Remember the T-Touch?
Yeah. Correct.
Yes.
As well, the touch screen on the crystal.
Here, let me pull up my screen. Here's two that we forgot about, just so you guys remember.
You're pouring the love.
Yeah. And of course, you cannot mention the Hamilton, which of course used to be the Pulsar, without mentioning the casquette.
Yeah, of course.
The casquette,
right?
Yes.
The GP casquette.
GP.
And both of these are digital and they're quartz and they're not cheap. Neither of them, right? So the GP is 26.
26, yeah. Can you just Google Yema? Because I have the Yema one that looks like the Hamilton. Yema Digital. It was Yema Kaczynski. That one, I think, in the Yema Kavinsky. You see in the down.
Yeah, loading. There it is.
No,
very
not
similar.
That one. Not that one.
What?
Go back to the search page, please.
Okay, here.
Down where it says beyond the dial. It says the page is beyond the dial. It says hands-on review Yema Kavinsky. Yeah, that one.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
So this one was I think Kickstarter. I think I remember funding this.
Mm-hmm. Partially, at least.
Page not found.
Of course.
I try to enlarge it,
but it's the PSR. I think a lot of watch collectors had.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I had the PSR from Hamilton. I was very surprised when I bought it of how well made it was. It felt the bracelet was amazing. The case, everything was solid. The big sapphire crystal on top. Then the two-tone OLED display, right? It had a normal display and the OLED one that overlaid each other, and you could then press the button and it was glowing stronger. I really loved that watch. It was amazing, but I never wore it. This is the problem with watches that you every time you pick it up, you think, oh, this is really, really so much better than you think it is. But you're still not wearing it, so I sold it eventually. But the casquette is a bit like that as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
And we need to mention that this was the first digital quartz watch, right? So this was an LED display. The Hamilton Pulsar P1 came out in 1970, and then the next similar watch was the Seiko 05 LC. Which Ralph showed a reissue of. I think Ralph showed a reissue of earlier. And then the Casiotron came in 1974. Yeah. So all three of these were effectively the first of their kind, right? But Hamilton with the Pulsar just killed everybody on it.
I just wanted to say one sweet thing about the casquette that not everybody knows is that it has a small little hidden functionality. So if you have a specific date or time. No, I think it's date.
Is it date?
That or a specific sequence of numbers that you want to remember. You can program that into the watch, and then on that day, I think every 30 seconds it will show it, or every few minutes it will show that specific date on your watch instead of the time.
So don't put your password or something.
Yeah. Just put your password in there, and then if you forget it, then it'll show
PIN number.
Exactly.
But it only shows this one time a year. So because it's the special day or something, or specific frequencies. I don't know. But I thought this is sweet when you have a functionality that means that whoever designed this quartz movement at Girard-Perregaux has actually gone into creating this functionality inside the circuitry, right? It's not something that comes natural.
No other watch does this, right? Yeah. So a quartz watch, because we have other watches that do similar things, like the kissing on the bridge thing with, but there's a mechanical automaton.
Yeah.
So, but anywho, all right. I think we've gone well and above our time frame for the day.
So much love for quartz. See?
It
Absolutely.
is surprisingly quite a lot of love for quartz.
Yes.
But anywho, it is, I think, time for us to end. I was timing on here, by the way, or how long we went. So I gotta love that. Like, you just freaking
what's the mission? What's the mission of successful mission time?
1 hour, 24 minutes. So I think that's a pretty decent time.
Lots of love.
Yeah. So lots of love. I'm sure we forgot a million watches.
Absolutely.
So you guys can tell us what we forgot, and then we'll mention it in a different episode.
Excellent.
So, all right. Thank you, George, for joining and proposing
Always
this
a pleasure.
idea.
Yeah.
And I don't think we would have had this idea without you. So thank you.
Exactly. Just stay on after I switch off so we can upload everything. And bye-bye for everybody. Until next week.
See ya.
Thank you.